Hey boys and girls, here we are, Chapter 9, Lesson 1, Relate Tenths and Decimals. Tenths and decimals, okay? So we're going to relate these two things. Now you know what tenths are because we've been working on fractions so much. If you have a tenth, you have 1 out of 10 equal parts, right? And so we're going to relate that to decimals. And I bet you know more about decimals than you think, because if you've ever used money, I bet you have used decimals. All right, so we're going to jump down here to number 4, and I'll read you the directions. The directions say, write the fraction or mixed number and the decimal shown by the model. Okay, so this model is a number line. And I always like to look at the beginning and the ending of the number line. And then it's helpful to look here in the middle as well. Okay, so this number line goes from 4 to 5. And in the middle, they have 4 and 5/10 as a fraction. And then it's exactly how we read that number, 4 and 5/10. All right, so there is the point that they want us to name as a fraction or mixed number and a decimal. Okay, so I'm going to say if I know that this is 4 and 5/10, I also know that if this is in tenths, that this number line has been separated into 10 equal parts. So there's 4 and 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, of course. So let's keep going. 6/10, 7/10, 4 and 8/10. Now you can write that as a fraction, no problem. 4 and 8/10. And as a decimal, 4, whole number, same, and then we put an 8 in the tenths place. 4 and 8/10. Fantastic job. Let's keep going. All right, so for number 5 and 6, I'm going to read you the directions. It says, write the fraction or mixed number as a decimal. Okay, so number 5, it says 4 over 10 or 4/10, right? So I'm going to write that as a decimal. So in your book, they always put 0 in the whole number place. Here's the decimal. And then I'm going to put a 4 in the tenths place. Not the tens, but the 10. Right? Lots of spitting in this chapter. Tenths. Okay? So there's 4/10. And you can even say 0 in 4/10 if you want to. Number 6. I'm reading whole number 3, so 3 and 1/10. So 3 and, when you write that decimal, don't say point or dot or whatever. Say the word and you're signaling to anyone listening that you're done with whole numbers. 3 and 1/10. 1 is in the tenths place. All right? This isn't too bad so far, right guys? All right, so down at the bottom of the page, problem solving. There are 10 sports balls in the equipment closet. 3 are kickballs. Write the portion of the balls that are kickballs as a fraction, as a decimal, and in word form. Ooh, 3 different answers for this one. All right, so let's reread this. There are 10 sports balls in the equipment closet. So 3 of the 10 are kickballs. Okay? Write the portion of the balls that are kickballs. They mean portion, they mean the part of the balls that are kickballs, or that set of balls that are kickballs, okay? So 3 out of the 10 are kickballs. So as a fraction, oh my gosh, I know you guys can do that with your eyes closed, right? 3/10 are kickballs, okay? Now as a decimal, I'm just going to write it with the 0 and the whole number, 0 and 3/10, right? And in word form, well, that's interesting. So we just write 3 and then tenths. Okay, be sure you put that TH in there because that's not 3/10, it's 3/10. That's what shows us that it is less than a whole. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so flip your page over, and this is the lesson check. It says, which decimal amount is modeled below? Okay, so back in the olden days, when you were learning about tens and ones and stuff, that used to be the symbol for 100. But, you know, it's just a tool that we use in math, so we can make it whatever we want. So while we're studying decimals, that is worth 1 whole. Okay, so that flat is worth just 1 whole. Okay, so look at your answer choices. You already know the answer now. We only have 1 whole, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10 equal parts, 4/10. 1 whole and 4/10. Fantastic. All right, now down to the review. It says, which of the following models has an amount shaded that is equivalent to the fraction 1/5? So which model has an amount shaded that's equivalent to 1/5? Well, let's take a look at them. Let's look at A. So we have 2 shaded, so out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A is 2/5. So that's not going to work, is it? All right, B, how much is shaded, guys? If you kept that part of the candy bar and I got that part of the candy bar, we would each have half, wouldn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 5 out of 10 equal parts. So that's 5/10, which is equivalent to half, which is what you can just see by looking at it, right? So you're not right, B. All right, let's take a look at C. C has 2 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10. So 2/10 are shaded. Is that equivalent to 1/5? Well, let's think about 2/10. Oh, now, is 2/10 in simplest form? It's not, is it? 2 and 10 are both even numbers, which is screaming out to me they are not in simplest form. Now, to go simplest form, remember, you divide both of them by a factor that they have in common. Okay? So the factors of 2, you know 2 is a prime number. It's only 1 or 2. So we're going to use 2. Because if you divide something by 1, you just get the same number. All right, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Oh, look at that. C is equivalent to 1/5. Nice job. Now, you know what? The other way you could look at that is if you look at them this way, that's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. All right, now, and then let's just check D for the fun of it. Oh, that's 1 out of 10 equal parts, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's a nice little 10 frame. 1/10, so no to you, D. Fantastic, guys. All right, decimals are so awesome, and they're so easy and sensible to work with. You're going to do great.